Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this very first special edition, Reflections, on Fear the Walking Dead's debut episode right here on undeadwalking.com. And it was a 1 hour, 5-minute episode of Walking Dead goodness finally to fill that lull between Season 5 and Season 6. And fans have been craving something from The Walking Dead for so long now, ever since Season 5 ended with Alexandria and Rick and Jesse and all these unanswered questions of what's going to happen with the wolves. But now, finally we have something. We have a brand new show. And the first thing that you have to recognize is with just attaching that name, even if it's called Fear the Walking Dead, you have a certain brand name and there's expectations to that brand name. And expectations have been sky high. I mean, I've seen people commenting online that they didn't like the pacing, they thought it was a little too slow, there was more action in the first season in the original Walking Dead pilot. But what they don't get is this is an entirely new show. And I actually thought the pacing was perfect. Because what's really happened throughout 5 seasons now is we've become desensitized to walkers. We don't fear them anymore. In fact, it takes a herd of practically 1,000 coming at Daryl or at the car, you remember last season, for us to be scared again. And it's nice to go back to those origins, almost Resident Evil-like, where for the first time you have that mystery, especially for the cast, where they don't know how to handle the walkers yet. They don't know what they're going to do, they don't know if they're going to get up or not get up, and there's that intense feeling, of course, of fear, but definitely of the unknown. And that's something that's been missing, that attachment to the walkers for the last couple of seasons, because we don't fear them anymore. We fear the people. You know, we fear the governor and the wolves and Jesse's husband, but we don't fear the walkers anymore. And what I really like about this origin episode is we go back to that. And who stole the show in this episode? It's gotta be Nick, the heroin junkie. I mean, he was channeling Jared Leto from Requiem for a Dream. I felt some shades of John Connor there from Terminator 2, that really rebellious kind of character, escaping from the hospital. And he's an unreliable protagonist. Undependable in every way. Both for the audience and for, his own family on the show. So it was the perfect kind of setup to bring in a drug addict and then have him be the first one to see the walkers. And he really stole this episode. His stage presence is remarkable. It's magnetic. And I think he's going to be the lead character of the show for quite a long time. And me personally, I came in this really excited and waiting to see what Kim Dickens will be doing, as I'm a huge fan of her character in Deadwood, of Joni Stubbs. And also she was great in Gone Girl, of course. And she's had quite a lucrative career. And time will tell where her character will go in this show. But especially I felt they had that really motherly connection when she goes and sees where her son's been sleeping. When she goes to that den, that heroin den in the church. And she opens that book, she recognizes it as Nick's book. And that heroin needle comes out. And it's at that moment that she first embraces the idea that her daughter has given her, that maybe she doesn't need Nick anymore. Maybe Nick is his own man now. He's 18 years old. And she can no longer, just push him into rehab center after rehab center, that she has to let go almost. And it's actually, I don't want to say her husband, but her live-in boyfriend currently, that doesn't want to give up on Nick. He doesn't want to say and proclaim that he's insane, even though Nick himself is starting to believe it. He's having trouble seeing that his friend Gloria, or his girlfriend possibly, they don't quite tell us who she is, has already turned into Walker, and that you come upon Gloria, of course, having that classic Resident Evil style biting scene, and you immediately wondered yourself, where are they going to go with Gloria? Are they going to show us some kind of flashback? Maybe that's going to happen in the rest of the show. Is Nick just going to be a temporary character? I would hope not. I think he's too powerful of a character. I think the drug addict aspect really adds to it. And I think his stage presence was really beyond. Now, one of the things you guys might not know about Nick, other than he played in the Harry Potter films, is the actor Frank Dillane went to RADA, the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. And what's interesting about that fact is who else went there? Why, David Morrissey, who played the governor, Andrew Lincoln, who plays, of course, Rick Grimes. And you can really feel that quality acting come out of there. Even now, you have this kind of youthful character, but you feel the stage presence conquering. And especially with all these veterans around. I mean, you have Cliff Curtis and Kim Dickens and all these fantastic talents. And yet Nick's presence just steals the show. And I'm really excited to see where they're going to take this character. I hope they don't take him out next episode. I hope they're going to let it grow and develop. And those are going to be my first initial reflections here on undeadwalking.com. This is the first one, the first video reflections. And I'll see you next week.